What is up, guys? It's BloodZelos. Welcome back to another Let's Build. Last episode we finished the mountain house, so we're moving on to a jungle house. A lot of you wanted a jungle house, and so I decided we're gonna go ahead and do that. It was the most suggested thing in the comment section, so it's really all I can do. I'm gonna just say right now, before we start this, it would be awesome to get 150 likes on the first episode. It may seem cliche, but it really does actually motivate a YouTuber. Nothing motivates a YouTuber more than seeing a lot of likes on their latest video. And I say that completely honestly. So let's go for 150 likes, but without further ado, let's start this. Here's the problem though. Jungles freaking cause me to lag. Like, I get these random spikes where it goes from normal FPS down to 0. And I don't know, see, like right there. And I really don't know, guys. Like, I'm a little worried I'm not going to be able to do this in a jungle. It's apparently too much for my computer to handle. My computer has kind of been dying. I really need to install Windows or reinstall Windows because my computer has basically gone to absolute crap lately. So I don't know. I don't even know why it's not going to load any more than that. I'm not really sure what it's doing. It's a little bit annoying. I'm going to need to find some sort of balance here where I can actually do this without lagging. I'm not sure why it's not loading that area. Okay. It's like, I don't know, guys, how good the graphics need to be for you to care, you know, for you to want to make sure you're watching it. So, I think if we load that and come back up here, is that going to be okay? Okay, so, I mean, I can build like this, but I don't know. I don't know if that's not enough loaded for you guys to be happy. Anyways, let's just start. We'll go into episode 1, and you guys, of course, can leave your comments. I'll need all the suggestions you can take. By the way, let me take a minute to shout out Shatsky for making the awesome thumbnail, as well as my Vimcraft thumbnails, which you guys may have seen. If you like those at all, you can check out his channel. He actually does do uploads and has a fairly nice channel. His link is in the description, and maybe he'll even make you some thumbnails, who knows. Okay, building on a jungle. I have not even Googled anything to see what kind of jungle mountain stuff to expect. So I'm going completely from scratch here, and we're just going to see where this leads us. Again, this is just episode 1, so who knows? Who knows? And I'm really, really getting frustrated. If anyone wants to buy me like a new computer for Christmas, that'd be great. I think if I uploaded this when I said I would, it is Christmas Eve right now, so Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. I opened my presents on Christmas Eve. I don't know about you guys, when do you open yours? Because for me, again, it's Christmas Eve, which is quite nice. It means I get them earlier than most people. And then, of course, I have my birthday on this Friday, so then I get to open more presents, and that's just great. Okay. So I'm thinking we're going to start with this tree, because then we can move to that tree, and we can also move down here. And we have these 3 trees. And we are going to be building between trees to make this an awesome, epic kind of treehouse thing. Now, how do we want to do this is the question. And that's going to be a big thing here. I actually, only because this is the first thing I've thought of, I think I'm going to start with a balcony. And that might seem a little weird, but it's because I really don't know what we're going to do, guys. I have not done a lot of building in tree houses before, at least not good building in tree houses, so this is completely new to me, and so I'm going to just be kind of YOLOing this, I guess would be the correct term. So let's make ourselves a balcony down here, and then we'll build the house around this. Each building individually in this treehouse is not going to be very big. The idea is going to be that, I mean, what we're going for at least is more of a collection of buildings, so that in the end we have a lot of living space, but in general each building is going to be fairly small. So again, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just making this up. The other thing is all these leaves are going to kind of vanish at random intervals, as I think you just saw that one disappear right there, which is going to get a little annoying too. So we're going to have to deal with that. There's going to be a lot of leaf placing in this build. Ooh, okay. But let's say that's our way down to the balcony. And right here, we can go ahead and add this layer, which is going to be the steps to the actual building. So we'll start the balcony here. I'm using birch half slabs instead of, what is the other alternative here? Instead of jungle, because I honestly think jungle wood is like one of the ugliest colors out there. So we'll probably use it a little bit in this build, but I'm going to avoid it for the most part, because it is not my favorite of the different colors, for sure. It is quite ugly in my opinion. So I guess I'm going to wrap around here like that. I'm going to keep this balcony symmetrical, is my hope at least. So we're going to come around like that. It's not going to be too big, probably something like that is looking okay. And then we'll go like this. We want it to look a little bit, we want it to look natural. The last house, this actually is similar to a mountain house in that it needs to look natural because we're using the environment again to build. Whereas I think the next build I'm going to do is a modern house. That's a little bit different. So yeah, we want this to look nice and natural. And actually, let's see, what level are these at? Yeah, okay, so let's go around it with these leaves. I'm hoping these leaves will stay. Will they stay because I placed them? I know if you world edit leaves in, they will disappear, but I want to know if those will stay for me. I'm really hoping they will, because if they won't, that's going to be annoying. Very, very frustrating, actually. Okay, I'm not sure I like that. I don't like how it goes in there. Let's try throwing these down here, so that we don't have to get in the way of our lovely birch wood. And then we'll come around like that, and then right here we'll just go in the corner like that. Okay, so that is our balcony, in theory. We could actually bring it out like this, I guess. So throw that there. And again, we're gonna have to see if these leaves will stay. If someone wants to go and post in the comment section what the rule is in Minecraft of how leaves work, when they stay and when they don't, that would be awesome. I would greatly appreciate that. So, this is already starting to look okay, actually. Obviously, just the very beginning, but we have ourselves a balcony. Balconies are a great starting point. We're going to have a pathway going off to that tree. We're going to have a building on this tree, and we're just going to have to work from there, guys. So, let's see. Let's start with some sort of building, then. This is the hard part. Well, we've done the easy part. That was the balcony. And the reason I did that first is because I had ideas for that. I think first what I'm going to do is just try and make the tree look a little more uniform. Obviously in nature nothing is perfect, but I'm going to do my best to make this tree perfect, just so that I know what I'm working with here. So we have something like this. The tree is almost symmetrical, actually. Let's look at this from a symmetrical point of view. It would be symmetrical if we had this block here, I think. It's very close. Okay, so what we can do is let's go ahead and let's look at the kind of patterns we can work here. We'll look at it this way. So you see how this tree is shaped? I think that's quite pretty. Let's go ahead and kind of fake the pathway that's going to go out to this tree right now. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this pathway yet, but I want it to be kind of at an angle, so it's going to be something like that. Then we can probably throw those in there. So it'll be along the lines of that. It's going to be how you get to that tree. Okay, right now I'm just kind of making up some shapes. So none of this is like official or anything. So far we haven't had any big lag problems though, which makes me happy. It gives me hope for this build. So we're going to go with something like that, just to get over to that tree. I think that looks cool. Awesome. Okay. The question here is how to build the building. You know what? What if we just start the building? Let's start with a building over here. We don't need to put a building there yet. That could almost be, we could almost leave that open and make it like a, ooh, we could make this like a gazebo. You know, those like areas out in people's backyards, you have like an overhang over it, but it's not a building, it's got open walls. Just kind of a place to shelter from the rain. And then here is where we can put a building, because this tree is a lot more stable looking, it's a lot more secure. It definitely is more, let's cut it down another layer. So our path is going to go down another layer as well. So it's going to be like that. It's just going to meet up like that. Okay, we're going to cut this down another layer because this tree actually has quite a lot of root or space, quite a lot of canopy, which I think we can work with. So let's just smash some leaves here real quick. Sometimes when I start breaking things, I also get a little bit of lag, which is kind of annoying. But we'll go ahead and do that like so. Okay, and just break that as well. So hopefully the leaves won't all start dying on me. Let's get rid of some of these stragglers. We can, I think what I'm going to do is when the build is over, I'll start adding back in straggling leaves and things to make it look less man-made. Because right now, obviously what I'm doing is I'm trying to make these trees look a little bit more normal. Sort of break some of that. I want to have something I can work with here that looks nice. So actually I'm going to cut really quickly and I'm going to make this perfectly symmetrical, and then we'll build on that. Okay, so I think that is symmetrical. Now the problem is leaves started dying while I was doing that, which scares me because it means that they're going to start dying while we're doing our build as well. So I think if I hand place leaves, then they won't die. I think. Like that one right there was just disappeared on me. I'm hoping that's the case, because if that's not the case, we're going to have some issues. So I don't want every building in this tree house kind of village here to be symmetrical, but I think this one will be. Obviously, that's kind of what it's turning out to be right now. But I think this one will be again. So we're just going to go with something like this, kind of to get ourselves some sort of idea of what's going to go on. I think it's safe to use jungle wood to build the walls. That's not as ugly, I don't think, and we do need the color contrast, so I'm gonna hedge a bet that we can use those and not break any rules of Minecraft, is what I'm hoping, at least. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let's come up with a cool window design for over here. Do we want the question here is, do we want it to look better on the inside or the outside? And that is an important question. I think we want it to look better from the outside, personally. So we're gonna throw an upside down stairs to give it some shape. One of the things, I have built jungle houses before just on my own for fun. One of the biggest issues is having them start to look a little bit boring. So that's what I'm gonna try and avoid here. The floor, let's see, if the walls are made out of that, we could probably make the floors out of this. But that could also look a little weird, so we'll find out, I guess, at some point. This pathway, obviously, is going to need to get fixed as well. Do not like all the parts of it. So let's go across like that, that, and that. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. There's like a car or motorcycle going by. You probably can't. Well, maybe you can now. It's getting really loud. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to want our doors right here, and we'll put our doors on the inside. I still can't get over that one comment I got where the guy's like, why do you always put your doors backward? And I'm like, well, they're not really backward. That's how I like them. I like them on the inside. It gives you, again, it gives you some nice shape. Okay, so these are going to be windows here. I'm thinking, okay, let me show you something that I actually really like. This is, I did not intend this, but look at how that looks from the bottom, how the leaves are a half step down. I actually really like that. I think that's going to be a theme of this build. So we're going to go back over here, and I'm going to break these, and this is how our windows are going to work. Is they're going to be built on these colored slabs, like that. Which probably means our floors are going to have to be this color, don't you think? But we'll see. Let's get some glass panes going right here. And this is just the first of many buildings too, so I think we'll just put these windows in and we'll be pretty close to done for this first part at least. Okay, so this could be like, well, I don't know what this room will be. It'll probably be like a living space because it has a lot of windows. But it's going to be nice, and we're going to have to do some decoration. We're going to have to work on the pathway next episode. This pathway has some work it needs having done. I do want to try that and see if that... No, that looks dumb. Okay. So, suggestions, things I need you to help me with in the comment section before I record episode 2 are A, how do leaves breaking work? If anyone can tell me that, like, what happens, how do I know when a leaf is going to break or when it's not? What are the rules on that? How should I decorate this pathway? And then, I mean, you can suggest anything for this room, floor color, what this room should be, how I should do the roof, anything for that. Then, just so you have a quick idea, we're going to have a way down to... Ooh, there goes a lag spike. We're going to have a way down to this treetop. We'll probably expand down here as well as down here. And then we may also expand over to here, to this treetop. And we're going to use this treetop. So, I'll even mark them now with a torch. I can't put torches on leaves. Okay, we're using this tree. We're going to use this tree. We're going to use this tree, and this tree. So for sure, those are the trees getting used in the Let's Build for this episode. Other than that, though, guys, make sure to leave your suggestions, and I will see you in episode 2, which will be out in a few days. Please leave a like. It really, really motivates me to keep going on these. I like making these Let's Builds, and you like watching them, so you might as well leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching, ninjas. It's already looking lovely.